Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going today? My name is JD. I'm here actually to show you guys my kayak setup. First of all, I want to explain this is a kayak made by the company Sun Dolphin. This is a Journey SS12. Like I said, it is made by Sun Dolphin. It's a very low-end kayak. Unfortunately, I got it for a great price, so for me, it was the fastest way entry into getting a kayak. So I want to show you guys actually the modifications that I made to this kayak and give you guys some inspiration on some of the things that you can do. So don't think that you have to have the most expensive kayak just to have a good setup. So first we're going to start at the stern, and you're going to have to pardon me. I am doing all the camera angles and everything myself, so I do apologize about this, but I want to show you guys this real quick. This is actually a very cool thing. This is a manual power pole. You will actually have a piece of conduit that actually slides down. It is 8-foot length conduit. The diameter is ½ inch. And what happens is it actually attaches via this paracord, if I can reach it. Well, this paracord right here, there's a eye bolt that goes through the actual pole at the bottom, and I manually lower it and raise it. I have been out on the kayak with this setup, and I actually am really impressed at how well it works, given the circumstances that it was like practically 10 bucks for me to build. Actually, probably less than that. So it's a fantastic rig. I can show you guys how to do it. Now, you can make it a lot simpler of a rig if you can mount it in an easy way. Unfortunately, with my kayak, this is a very, very narrow point right here, and there's not a lot, there's a lot of stuff in the way. Let's put it that way. I have my plug, also have my mount for my handle. So I had to fabricate it in a way that was going to give me the accessibility to my handle and to my drain without removing a ton of strength. So this is very strong. It's mounted in. I actually use what they call a cog anchor. It's pretty much a spring. And it has a screw in it, and you push it down in the hole, it pops out, and as you tighten it, it literally draws these two springed pieces of metal up and keeps it from pulling out, and it is very, 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 very secure. So that is a manual power pole. I've already used it out in the field, like I've said, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's so much better than throwing out your anchor constantly and getting yourself wet and all that stuff. But I do have a pretty cool anchor system. So for me to go from the anchor system that I have to this is actually pretty astounding. And I will, like I said, show you my anchor setup. Moving forward, I'm going to show you guys this pole right here. This is actually, let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. This is actually a paint pole that I have literally attached to my crate, my milk crate. This is a modified milk crate, and I'll get to that in a second. But this is actually a Ion Air Pro light that I've mounted to this paint pole. And the reason I did that was because it gives me a good camera angle from the topical view, so I can see everything, fish and all that stuff splashing, and you know, I can catch my entire catch in the whole process, which is pretty awesome. Now I want to show you guys the actual part that this is attached to, which is my crate. My crate actually has 2 rod holders. I found that if you try to carry any more than that, it's going to be too much of a pain in the butt. So I have this crate, which is not like your normal milk crate. Normal milk crates hold about 30 pounds worth of milk. So they're very rigid and they're very small, compact. This is not very rigid, but it's a lot bigger than a normal milk crate. So I went this route just because it was easier for me to fit more stuff in, although I wish that it had some of the structural strength of a normal milk crate. I do apologize also, you're going to see in here it's kind of dirty. I brought this thing out this morning to do this video, and good Lord, having oak trees in Florida when it's windy is not a good idea. Drops seeds or acorns everywhere. So right here I have just a place where I just slide my net. I also have a battery in here. It's going to be very hard for you guys to see, but I'm going to try to give you a different angle. There's my battery right there. That container just keeps excessive water being splashed on it. It gives me the ability to access it, charge it without even having to take it out of my boat. Of course, your weight. This is my good God, I can't even think of the name of it. I'm sorry. Scale. There we go. I have 3 different dividers in here. These dividers give me the ability to, this is my most used. So I generally, once I get out on the water, I take this one and stick it up at the front of the kayak because I'm going to be accessing it. It has most of my weights and simple stuff that I'm going to use all the time, hooks, stuff like that. These are soft baits, hard baits. I pretty much use just 2 because I don't want to be hauling around a crap ton of stuff. So this is a very simplistic system. I've made 2 umbrella rigs that I just shove into PVC pipe. It's the easiest system. And this also is where I store my anchor. I just attach it there, very simple. If I go forward just a little bit more, you're going to see that I have at the front, I have this very small Plano, just an extra little tackle box that I can use. I keep kind of weird stuff in here, batteries, stuff like that, that I'm going to be accessing. It's not really something I'm accessing all the time, but if I need something, I put it in there. I've also got my whistle for Coast Guard regulations that require you to have a whistle on your vessel, not on your person. Moving right along, you're going to see on the other side of the kayak here, let's see if I can get it in angle. I'm going to see if I can zoom in. I'm sorry, guys. Right here is, this is my retrieval system for my anchor. It's a retractable clothesline that I literally pulled the entire line out and replaced it with rope. I can go into a video on how to do that. It's very nice, and like I said, you know, when I'm talking about my power pole, I don't even really get wet using this thing. I drop it, it goes out, I tie it off onto my anchor trolley, which is right over here. And then from there, all I do is pull it up and it sucks it right up in there. So I'm not even getting that wet. So you know that it's gonna take something really fantastic for me to change why I would go from this good system to something even better. So it just gives more proof that the system, the power pole system, works really, really efficiently. So I'm gonna zoom back out here, guys. Apologize about that. Now we're going to take you down to the seat. This is a completely, man, this was one of the big things that I had a problem with when I bought the kayak. The seat was very uncomfortable. It is a contoured seat. So the issue that I have is whenever you want to go ahead and put in a new seat, something that's more comfortable that you're going to be able to sit for long periods of time in, the issue is because it's contoured, there's no mounting, meaning there's no external places where you can connect a seat to. So if I was to put this seat in right now and I don't attach it, it's going to be flopping all over the place. So I needed to have a way of anchoring my system and my seat down to the actual kayak. Now that included me drilling some holes, but I can show you guys how to do that. This is a very unique system. I haven't seen anybody do it, and especially in a contoured. There are some that actually have sit on top of kayaks that already have mounting systems and stuff like that. This does not have anything. So this I had to be fabricated and thought of and made. Here you're going to see my anchor line. This is where I actually drop and raise up and tie off my power pole. Moving forward even more, you're going to see this is the actual power pole down here. I don't know if you can see it or not. There it is. Right here is a Atwood. It's just a cheap Walmart brand fishing rod holder. Right here, this is my Hummingbird 197C. It is a full color display sonar unit. It is very nice. I use it for temperature mostly and to get topography of the bottom of the lake. That's mostly what I use it for. I don't really use it to try to find fish because, to be honest with you, the only time I do that is kind of like for crappie fishing. I usually do very close shoreline fishing for bass. Moving right along, we have this. This is the final thing on my boat. This is the actual mount that I built for my other Ion Air Pro light. It is completely framed out of PVC pipe. This part down here, if you can see it in the video, let me get it centered. This is actually not a piece of, this is not a toilet paper roll. This is actually a pool noodle that I slid this into the actual PVC pipe into, and it is completely retractable. That way I don't end up messing up my boat, and I can keep it, my boat as intact as possible without doing a ton of destruction, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that. So let me go ahead and get in front of the camera here, and I'll give you guys a send off. That pretty much wraps up the video for this this time. I will have some other videos on how to do tutorial stuff on how to make all of these modifications and stuff like that. Plus, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, just put them in the comment section. If you do have questions, make sure that you put them down there, because I have no problem with answering anybody's questions about anything that I've done to my kayak. And if you guys want to see any other videos, make sure you let me know. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a slap that thumbs up button. And thank you very much for your time. You guys have a great day.